Written by Clarity Breakdown CO. We live in a world bathed in light, a dazzling, invisible ocean of energy. This light is not just a mere backdrop to our lives, it is an essential part of our existence, influencing everything from the way we see the world to the way we feel. But have you ever stopped to think about how we actually perceive all the vibrant colors that surround us? The reds of a sunset, the greens of a forest, the blues of the ocean. These colors are more than just visual stimuli. They are a complex interplay of light and perception. Our ability to see these colors is a marvel of nature, a result of millions of years of evolution. It's not as simple as you might think. The process of seeing color involves a series of intricate steps that begin with light and end with our brain interpreting these signals. Our perception of color is a fascinating interplay between physics, biology, and even a dash of brain power. Light enters our eyes, gets focused by the lens, and hits the retina, where photoreceptor cells called rods and cones come into play. Let's dive in, shall we? Imagine diving into a pool of colorful water, each droplet representing a different wavelength of light. Light, you see, isn't just light. It's a spectrum of electromagnetic waves, each with its own unique properties. It's actually made up of electromagnetic waves, rippling through space like cosmic surfers. These waves carry energy and information across the universe, connecting everything in a web of light. These waves come in a wide range of sizes, from the incredibly tiny, think gamma rays, to the unbelievably huge, radio waves, anyone. Each type of wave has its own unique characteristics and interacts with matter in different ways. But our eyes? They're only tuned into a very specific slice of this electromagnetic spectrum, the visible spectrum. This narrow band of wavelengths is what we perceive as light and color. Think of it like a cosmic radio dial. Just as a radio can only pick up certain stations, our eyes can only detect certain wavelengths of light. We can only hear the stations within a certain frequency range. Similarly, our eyes are limited to the visible spectrum, a tiny fraction of the entire electromagnetic spectrum. Similarly, our eyes can only detect the wavelengths of light within the visible spectrum. This range includes all the colors we can see, from deep reds to vibrant violets. Everything else? Invisible to us. There are countless other wavelengths of light that we simply cannot see, from ultraviolet rays to infrared waves. It's like a whole other world of light is passing us by, unseen and unnoticed. This hidden world of light influences our lives in ways we are only beginning to understand, from the way plants grow to the way we communicate wirelessly. These light waves, my friends, are the messengers of the universe, carrying information about everything from distant stars to the very atoms that make up our bodies. And just like ocean waves, they have different wavelengths, the distance between each crest. Shorter wavelengths, like those of blue and violet light, are packed with more energy. Longer wavelengths, like red and orange, are a bit more laid back. Now, here's where things get really interesting. When light hits an object, it can do one of three things. It can be reflected, absorbed, or transmitted. The color we perceive is determined by which wavelengths are reflected back to our eyes. A ripe banana, for instance, absorbs most of the blue and green light but reflects yellow. A juicy strawberry does the opposite, absorbing green and reflecting red. It's like a cosmic game of catch with photons. Our eyes, those intricate biological cameras, are the key to unlocking the mystery of color. They are complex organs that capture light and transform it into the vivid images we see every day. Inside each eye, we have millions of photoreceptor cells, specialized cells that convert light into electrical signals. These cells are the unsung heroes of our vision, tirelessly working to help us perceive the world around us. And guess what? We have two main types, rods and cones. Each type plays a unique role in our vision, contributing to our ability to see in different lighting conditions and perceive a spectrum of colors. Rods are like the night owls of the eye, incredibly sensitive to light and allowing us to see in low light conditions. They are our go-to receptors when navigating through dimly lit environments, such as a moonlit night or a darkened room. But they don't discriminate between colors, seeing the world in shades of gray. This lack of color vision is a trade-off for their heightened sensitivity to light, making them perfect for night vision, but not for distinguishing hues. Cones, on the other hand, are the color specialists. They thrive in bright light conditions and are responsible for our ability to see the rich tapestry of colors that make up our world. They're less sensitive to light, but come in three varieties, each tuned to a different range of wavelengths: red, green, and blue. These three types of cones work together to help us perceive a full spectrum of colors by combining their responses to different wavelengths of light. When light hits our eyes, these cones fire off signals to the brain, like a symphony orchestra playing a complex melody. Each cone type sends its own signal, and together, they create a harmonious blend that our brain interprets as color. The brain, the ultimate conductor, then interprets these signals, piecing together the wavelengths and their intensities to create the sensation of color. It's a remarkable process that happens in the blink of an eye, allowing us to experience the vibrant world around us. Amazing, isn't it? Now let's talk about one of nature's most stunning displays of color, the blue sky. Why is it blue, you ask? Well, it's all thanks to a phenomenon called Rayleigh scattering. As sunlight enters our atmosphere, it collides with tiny air molecules like nitrogen and oxygen. These molecules act like little antennas, scattering the sunlight in all directions. But here's the catch. They scatter shorter wavelengths, like blue and violet, much more effectively than longer wavelengths, like red and orange. That's why the sky appears blue during the day. We're seeing the scattered blue light. At sunset, however, the sunlight has to travel through a much thicker layer of atmosphere to reach our eyes. The blue light gets scattered away, leaving the longer wavelengths of orange and red to paint the sky in those breathtaking hues. Color isn't just a pretty face, my friends. It plays a vital role in the natural world, from photosynthesis to animal communication. Take plants, for example. Those lush green leaves we see all around us are green for a reason. They contain a pigment called chlorophyll, which absorbs sunlight for photosynthesis, the process by which plants convert light energy into chemical energy. Chlorophyll absorbs red and blue light most efficiently, reflecting green light back to our eyes. It's like a cosmic energy drink for plants. And what about rainbows, those ephemeral arcs of color that grace the sky after a rainstorm? Rainbows are formed by a combination of refraction, reflection, and dispersion of sunlight within water droplets. As light enters a raindrop, it's bent or refracted, separating the different wavelengths. These wavelengths are then reflected off the back of the raindrop and refracted again as they exit, creating that familiar spectrum of colors. Now let's address some common color myths that have been floating around for far too long. These misconceptions have shaped our understanding of colors in ways that are often misleading. First up, the myth that bulls are enraged by the color red. This is one of the most pervasive myths out there. Not true. Bulls are actually colorblind to red and green. They can't distinguish red from other colors. What triggers their charge is the movement of the matador's cape, not its color. The rapid motion is what catches their attention and provokes a reaction. Another myth: carrots improve your night vision. This one has been around for decades and is often repeated. While it's true that carrots are a good source of vitamin A, which is essential for eye health, they won't magically give you superhuman night vision. Vitamin A helps maintain healthy vision, but it doesn't enhance it beyond normal capabilities. This myth originated during World War II when the British spread a rumor that their pilots had exceptional night vision due to eating carrots. The real reason was to conceal the use of radar technology. Clever propaganda, but not entirely accurate. The story was a strategic move to mislead the enemy and protect sensitive information. And finally, let's tackle the myth that we only see a limited range of colors. This misconception underestimates the complexity of human vision. While it's true that our eyes have 3 types of color receptors, our brains are incredibly adept at interpreting and combining those signals. These receptors, known as cones, are sensitive to different wavelengths of light. In reality, we can perceive millions of different shades of color. The brain's ability to process and differentiate these colors is truly remarkable. That's a lot of color. Our perception of color is a complex interplay between our eyes and brain, allowing us to experience the world in vibrant detail. So the next time you hear a color myth, remember that the science of color is far more fascinating and intricate than these simple misconceptions. Understanding the truth about color can enhance our appreciation of the world around us, from the natural beauty of a sunset to the artistic expressions on a canvas. Let's celebrate the true spectrum of colors and the incredible ways they enrich our lives. But what does the future hold for our understanding of color? Advancements in technology and science continue to push the boundaries of what we know. Imagine a world where we could enhance our natural color perception, seeing beyond the visible spectrum into realms previously unseen by the human eye. Scientists are already making strides in areas like augmented reality and bioengineering, potentially allowing us to experience colors in ways we never thought possible. What if we could perceive ultraviolet light like bees or infrared like some snakes? The implications for art, medicine, and even daily life are staggering. As we move forward, the relationship between technology and nature will undoubtedly reveal even more about the enigmatic world of color. So, stay curious and open-minded. The spectrum of possibilities is endless, and the journey of discovery has only just begun. Thank you for joining us on this colorful adventure. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more fascinating insights into the wonders of our world. Until next time, keep exploring. And remember, there's always more to see than meets the eye.